Hey guys, welcome back to Tech News Day.
Netflix has been hacked.
Dun dun.
Remain calm. Okay. Well, first off, Netflix was not technically hacked. And secondly, no, your credit card and account information and your embarrassing viewing history are not at risk.
Nazi mega weapons.
Not yet. This guy really likes Nazi mega weapons. What has happened, though, is that a hacker known by the very edgy name of the Dark Overlord has gotten a hold of the upcoming season of Orange is the New Black, which is still on the air, apparently. Still on the web, apparently.
Yeah.
And they have leaked it onto the internet after failing to have their steep demands met. Oh, the humanity.
I feel like this guy probably looks like the head developer from the movie Grandma's Boy. How can he see
It's
me?
a race car bet. Oh, that developed. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Now, anyways, this story comes to us from cybersecurity and hacking blog databreaches.net, who have apparently been in contact with the Dark Overlord since December, when the Dark Overlord revealed that they had stolen hundreds of gigabytes of unreleased media from a studio in Hollywood, which Data Breaches was able to narrow down to Larson Studios, a major audio post-production facility.
Damn sound guys.
Zane?
Better not leak this episode.
Yeah.
So anyway, it wasn't Netflix who was breached. It was a third-party studio working on Orange is the New Black. Larson Studios is also working on a bunch of other stuff, though, which was all acquired by the Dark Overlord. 37 titles in all, including both series and feature films. Now, the list includes stuff like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Lucha Underground, Portlandia, Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage, and more.
Return of Xander Cage, a real hotbed when you're trying to search for that torrent online. Triple X.
Yeah.
I get all my downloads from Kazaa.
What's the porn parody of Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage?
I don't know. It's probably just like a completely bland comedy.
Yeah. It's just the movie Triple X.
Yeah. So anyways, the Dark Overlord got into Larson's servers sometime around December, and they demanded 50 Bitcoins in exchange for not leaking it, which comes out to about $72,000. Larson Studios was apparently considering paying the ransom, even signing a contract, but at some point they changed course and stopped communicating with the Dark Overlord, which is something you should never do. So the hackers now directed their attention at a bigger fish, Netflix.
Dear Netflix, be a real shame if
I will
Orange
leak
is
the
the New
episode.
Black. It's unclear how much they demanded from Netflix in exchange for not leaking their shows, but Netflix apparently was not too interested in playing the whole extortion game. So on Friday, the Dark Overlord uploaded a torrent of Orange is the New Black's first episode from the upcoming season,
And no one cared.
along with a statement saying, "We naturally approached Netflix and the others in an attempt to devise a mutually beneficial arrangement where we are paid and Netflix and friends don't wake up to find their hard work plastered on the internet.
That's where it exists.
Our proposals went unanswered, so our hands have been forced. We were quite offended by our target's responses, or lack thereof."
Since then, they've gone ahead and just released episodes 2 through 10 of the 13-episode season, apparently still hoping someone out there hands over some of those precious Bitcoins. If not Netflix, then maybe Fox, IFC, Nat Geo, ABC, anybody? Huh. No takers.
Wow.
That looks like the Dark Overlord, despite their hacking expertise, didn't really think this through, or thought that people would just roll over and...
Not my
Okay.
TV shows!
Now, in the past, they have successfully extorted money from medical clinics and hospitals in exchange for sensitive patient information, but this isn't quite the same.
Yeah. See, first off, a hospital's probably going to pay the ransom because if they don't, customers, aka patients, are going to be a lot more wary about using their services in the future, and the people affected by the breach are probably going to sue. The hospital loses money either way, but if they pay the ransom, at least they get to maintain some level of trust with the people they make money from.
Yeah, now in this case, a Netflix show getting leaked online a month before it's supposed to premiere, the stakes aren't as high, obviously. The people seeking out these torrents are either A, die-hard Orange is the New Black fans who are probably already paying Netflix customers anyway, or B, people that aren't Netflix customers and already watch all of their favorite Netflix shows on torrents anyway. So on top of that, BitTorrent it really isn't that popular nowadays compared to its heyday 5 or 10 years ago. The Dark Overlord would have to create a entire program that delivers this to you with ease and a very great UI that is easy to use and fun and provides other services too for people to be like...
Simple thumbs up, thumbs down rating system.
Yeah, it's just not that interesting.
So back in 2011, BitTorrent accounted for 23% of all daily internet traffic in North America. That's a lot. In 2016, though, that number had dropped below 5%. People who torrent everything often justify this behavior by saying, "Hey, everyone's doing it. No one's paying for content.
Although now I do wish I could download a car.
Yeah. But I mean, that sentiment is simply not true. And the reason for that is specifically because of services like Netflix and HBO Now and all the various ways that old media has made cord cutting easy and affordable over the last few years. Torrenting just isn't as appealing when you've already got so much content at your fingertips for a monthly cost equal to less than a movie ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
When I torrented a lot, like in college, like none of these services existed. It was like,
Yeah, this is the only way you could get things.
Yeah, I don't have cable in my
And I'm not gonna spend-
dorm room because they don't offer it.
And I'm not gonna spend $25 on a DVD.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, I can rent it for $2?
Yeah.
Sure.
A $10 Netflix subscription. Like, I'm never gonna get bored. I'm never thinking like, gosh, I wish I had something to watch.
I honestly don't know if there is even seasons to Nazi mega weapons. It just goes on forever. They were prolific in
A lot of
in
Nazi mega weapons, yeah.
designing mega weapons.
I mean, I think the creators of the show are now designing their own Nazi mega weapons.
Yeah,
just
they're just making it up as they
keep
go
the
along
lore
there.
going.
Like, wow, these Nazis sure were crazy.
Yeah.
They invented a boat that shot dolphins.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Wow, that Hitler's a weird guy.
He was a weirdo. So while this is certainly embarrassing, especially for that audio post-production studio who really need to step up their cybersecurity
Their website
game.
is fucking hideous. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's why you got hacked, you dumb
Exactly.
you idiot.
We'll be shocked if the Dark Overlord makes a single cent out of any of this. All these films and TV studios and platforms have had plenty of time to run the numbers on how much torrenting actually hurts their business, and it's just not worth it to give too much of a shit about stuff like this anymore. Plus, if they give in to their demands, they're only encouraging more attacks. If they take a stand here and show how pointless and unprofitable these types of hacks are, hackers aren't gonna bother similar tactics in the future.
Yeah. Like half the shows on that list too, it's like, okay, the target audience, I think there was like an NCIS on there. I'm like, oh yeah, like grandma and grandpa are gonna
Fire up the old
they're gonna
BitTorrent.
read about this in Newsweek and be like, oh, I need these new episodes of NCIS. How do I BitTorrent, grandson?
Well, that's the
No.
thing is, old people are getting more attuned to things like this because, you know, Bill O'Reilly gets taken off Fox. Now they got to learn what podcasts are.
Yeah.
As soon as Alex Jones gets stricken from the airwaves, the normal airwaves, you're gonna have to BitTorrent his show every day. So
Yeah.
the old people will rule the torrent earth.
The old people will rise again.
Yeah.
Speaking of big companies getting victimized by nefarious online evildoers, it has now come out that both Google and Facebook recently fell victim to an online phishing scam to the tune of more than $100 million. Last month, the U.S. Justice Department announced the arrest of a Lithuanian man named Evaldas Rimasaukas, who they say forged.
That's a good job.
They say he forged email addresses and invoices to impersonate a supplier in Asia that a lot of big tech firms do a lot of business with. He was then able to trick the accounting departments of Google and Facebook into transferring tens of millions of dollars to him, which he'd promptly stashed into bank accounts all across Eastern Europe.
At the time of the DOJ announcement, they left out the names of the two companies, describing one as, quote, a multinational technology company specializing in internet-related services and products. Wow, that's broad. And another as, quote, a multinational corporation providing online social media and networking services. Yep, that's broad. But the journalists at Fortune looked into the story, and after talking to sources and researching the case, they say it was definitely Google and Facebook that got scammed, and the two companies have since gone on to confirm this. So.
Yeah.
Fine, it was us.
They got our hundreds of millions of dollars.
Whoops.
So yeah, that's really goddamn embarrassing, especially for two of the biggest tech companies on earth. Kind of scary. But to put this into perspective, the Securities and Exchanges Commission generally requires that publicly traded companies like Facebook and Google disclose this kind of thing to investors, but neither of them did because they're both worth such insane amounts of money that $100 million is barely a drop in the bucket. It's not even worth notifying your investors.
I could buy 3 shares of that much money.
Meanwhile, the guy who allegedly did the phishing is facing some serious prison time with 1 count of wire fraud and 3 counts of money laundering, which adds up to a maximum sentence of 80 years. So, I think the problem worked itself out.
Anyways, it's been a whole week since we last checked in with Elon Musk and heard his outlandish ideas for the future. Not content with just electric self-driving cars, affordable solar energy, space travel, hyperloops, and mind-machine interfaces, his next big idea is underground tunnels. You know, not the most exciting thing, but yeah, especially compared to the other things.
Yeah, very.
He posted an Instagram post last night where it was like a shot of a game that said hit the alien, and he goes, I don't know if you should do that. Further like adding fire to the claim that he is an actual alien sent to Earth.
His features are very odd.
You might not want to hit the alien. I am Elon Musk, normal human. This is how normal human talks. Anyways, so obviously, what is he going to call this tunnel digging company? The Boring Company? Yes, he's calling it the Boring Company. Get it?
Bazinga.
Yeah, it's because boring is the act of digging tunnels.
Bulgaria. But yeah, anyways, Elon Musk has been teasing this one for a few months now, and the idea seems to have arisen from his own frustrations with traffic here in Los Angeles, which, yes, can be pretty goddamn terrible depending on your route. His problem is he lives on the west side. He lives in Bel Air, and he has to drive all the way down to Hawthorne to get to SpaceX. If you plug that into Google Maps, you'll see that that's like around an 18-mile trip that takes,
buy
it
a
takes like an
helicopter.
hour. Yeah, I know.
Buy a helicopter instead of digging a tunnel under the city, you fucking rich
My
asshole.
commute sucks. I'm going to reinvent transportation infrastructure from the ground up.
And while that's happening, probably reroute a bunch of traffic and create more jams for the next 10 or 15 or 20 years that it takes to build this thing. Buy a fucking helicopter.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Launch off one of your rockets. They can land.
Yeah, that's true. They can land.
Yeah.
It's kind of expensive though. But yeah, he lives in two of the worst places. He lives in Bel Air. He has to get down to Hawthorne. He has to take the fucking 405 to get there the whole time. One of the worst freeways in America. I've managed to avoid it for like the last year, and I'm a better person for that.
If I had to drive that for work, I would quit that job.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
It's bad.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. What if there was an underground tunnel that Musk could go to work? It's so stupid. What if there was an underground tunnel so that Musk could go to work without having to deal with any of that stop and go traffic and congestion? Not like the big dig in Boston or the one that's going on in Seattle. This is a tunnel that
Totally different.
that doesn't involve normal automobiles going into it. Okay, Elon. Now, of course, that's very tempting, but it's a lot of digging just to add more lanes of traffic. Where's that wow factor? Pretend I'm one of the investors on Shark Tank.
Elevator pitch, Elon.
Yeah, give me your Shark Tank pitch. Well, it turns out that it's not just the tunnels that he wants, but a whole new system of transportation where you park your car on top of a small platform, and that platform takes you underground and carries you through the tunnel at 200 kilometers per. It's America, by the way, Elon. You can say miles per hour.
Yeah, you've been here for 20 years.
200 kilometers per hour before letting you off back at the surface level near your destination. Essentially, a ferry.
It's a car for your car.
Yeah, it's a car ferry, but instead of water, it goes underground.
Yeah, it's a little tiny shuttle train.
It's almost like a subway system, which are many cars
I
put together.
know, that's crazy. Imagine, I like the idea. Why do we need cars for this though? Seems like something you could do just as easily with compartments full of people.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
Considering they are actively, currently still building that infrastructure here anyway.
But yeah, it's like a little shuttle train that your car rides on. It goes real fast.
It's a cute idea.
It's got little to no danger involved because there's no stupid humans driving on these tracks. It's all machines.
I like to think Elon Musk is just obviously he's a very smart man, but has the ideas that a child would have, and they're like, yes, Elon, we could. I mean, technically it's possible. If you really want to spend the time.
I think when he gets home from work at night, a lot of people
Hey, Amber.
A lot of people meditate. I think he goes and plays with Legos for like a half an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. But wait, what if there was a tunnel underneath the city? 40 layers of
And
tunnels.
LA's just cool with this?
No, they're not. That's another big obstacle he seems to be completely leaving out here.
Yeah.
Yes, Elon, it's a solid idea. It sounds like it would definitely get people where they need to go more quickly than they are now. But how do we get this started? Yeah, we actually have to dig those tunnels. Up to 40 layers of tunnels for maximum efficiency, according to Musk. But hey, that's no big deal at all. The Boring Company already has its own boring machine that's way better than anything else available. And it's already doing practice digs underneath SpaceX's parking lot. We're gonna have these tunnels any day.
He's planning on LA just leasing this from him.
And he's holding the city ransom.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
It'd be a real shame
Get
if
this guy out of the city. And
Get
he's using
out
it
of
as
here.
his own playground.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's doing great. Here's the thing, Elon. We love your enthusiasm and your drive. You've accomplished a ton of amazing shit in just a few short years. But you'll have to forgive our skepticism on this one. There are just too many examples of underground digging projects gone awry to think of any way that this is gonna be simple. It just won't be. There was the big dig in Boston, like we mentioned, which despite only requiring 3 miles of tunneling, ended up taking 9 years longer than expected, costing nearly 3 times as much as originally budgeted. And it's been plagued with structural problems, including one death from a ceiling collapse, and the constant need to pump water out because of thousands of leaks.
Yeah, oh God, this thing's like Swiss cheese. Well, we'll just install a pump that we have to replace every year because the thing's gonna fill up with water if we turn this thing off.
The LA subway system hasn't really, they extended the train, but it's an above ground, but it hasn't really evolved too much since 1995 when they built the Red Line.
Yeah, tunneling's hard.
It's very hard.
And residents of Seattle are also very familiar with the problems that come with tunneling. Back in 2013, they began work on an ambitious, simple 2-mile tunnel to reroute highway traffic underneath downtown Seattle. Great idea. And they were going to use the world's largest diameter tunnel boring machine, nicknamed Big Bertha. Nothing stops Big Bertha. But after just 4 months,
Except Large Marge.
After just 4 months. 4 months, Big Bertha broke its blades on an unexpected steel pipe, and then they spent the next 2 years digging a hole to get down to where Big Bertha was to fix her broken blades. Once it was back up and running, the project was stopped again after just 3 weeks due to a sinkhole. It was finally completed last month, roughly $223 million over budget, and I think like 2 years past its deadline.
It's because they didn't send Large Marge.
Yeah, well, now they know.
So yeah, tunneling, obviously a bit tricky, and even if you assume absolutely nothing goes wrong, the kind of operation Musk is pitching would cost an astronomical amount of money and take a very long time to complete. Still, Musk's career is built around challenging the status quo and making futuristic ideas feasible, so who knows?
Yeah, maybe our grandkids will fly around in Musk tunnels.
By the time he fixes this problem, the people are gonna be zooming around in little Uber jets and stuff.
Yeah,
Little drones.
it's just, I mean, good for him. Thinking outside the box. The man, this is like if Ray Bradbury was like, wait, I could make a lot more money just like going to fucking TED Talks and like acting like this shit was actually real.
I think Mars is an ambitious enough task.
So, and we're gonna tunnel the shit out of that.
Yeah, we are gonna
planet.
fuck that planet up.
Look out, Mars.
Yeah, here we come.
Anyway, it's time for a quick word from this week's sponsoring advertiser, HostGator. If you're looking into building your own website, HostGator has all the tools that you need to build it and host it. Their drag and drop website builder and mobile-friendly templates make it easy to create a great-looking website fast. HostGator doesn't cap the amount or size of files directly pertaining to your website, and you can even create as many email addresses and forwards as you need.
They've also got 24/7, 365 support available to assist you via live chat or email anytime you've got questions. And they do give you a nice jump start for advertising with $100 worth of credits in Google AdWords. And if you give it a shot and you're not completely satisfied, simply cancel within 45 days for a full refund.
Wow.
So, for a website you'll love as much as your small business, go to hostgator.com/TechTuesday to sign up. Using that URL will get you 60% off, but hurry, because this is a limited time promotion. Discount applies to the first term only, so again, that is hostgator.com/TechTuesday.
But hold on. What's that smell? I think it's blood. Well, if I can smell it, and you can smell it, that surely means that Phil Arrigo can smell it too. And when Phil is out for blood, you best get out his way.
You know who can't smell though? Dan Casey.
Oh yeah.
He's nose blind.
Are you watching this video on some form of internet? Well, guess what? This story applies to you. Well, as long as you're in the United States. If you're not in the US, I'll see you in the comments below trashing my country. Net neutrality is back in the spotlight, and wow, is it a bummer. In 2015, former FCC Chief Tom Wheeler drafted a bill that passed and enacted net neutrality, and I was really happy on this show. In very oversimplified terms, net neutrality is a set of rules that say internet providers can't throttle, slow down, prioritize, deprioritize, or to put it in the plainest terms, mess with your internet based on what you're using it for. So streaming Netflix has to be treated the same as, say, an episode of Tugs. But net neutrality. That episode of Tugs has to be treated the same as anti-government websites or information from a company who, say, is one of your provider's competition. Basically, your internet tubes were just dumb water pipes that just passed along whatever it was you asked for. Fast forward to Trump getting elected in America, and the Obama-appointed Tom Wheeler steps down now that Barack is gone. So Trump appointed this guy, Ajit Pai. And what's Ajit's first order of business? Dismantling net neutrality. Ajit and the Republicans that support him claim that both the FCC and the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, have power over the internet, and they're not like dismantling net neutrality. They're just removing the power from the FCC so the FTC can do it because net neutrality was with the FCC. See how all that's a mess? In that last sentence, it made your head spinning and bored the shit out of you? Well, basically, that's the tactic any government who wants you to submit to their ideas will use. It also works for girlfriends and husbands and children if you want to wear them down and just get them to go like, okay, just do whatever you want. So where did Ajit come from? Oh, from 2001 to 2003, he worked for Verizon, one of the companies that is very much directly affected by net neutrality. And how does old Verizon feel about net neutrality? Well, they put out this interview where Verizon General Counsel Craig Silman is being interviewed by, who's this guy in the plaid shirt? What YouTube channel is this on? Oh, it's on Verizon's channel. So the guy who looks like Michael Keaton going through chemotherapy is being interviewed by friendly blue picnic tablecloth beard man, and both of them work for Verizon. It's not much of an interview. So Beardo asks Baldy some questions that tee up Verizon, and they say, hey, this is your stance. Net neutrality is not in jeopardy, and we have zero intention to do anything that would slow down your connections or do bad things, you know? Look, the problem with all this is that for years, Verizon has lobbied against and done everything they can to prevent net neutrality from becoming a reality. Here's a metaphor for you. Let me just change up the terms. If the government was trying to put laws in place that made murder illegal, and Verizon was like, hey, whoa, with these murder laws, I'm gonna lobby against your murder laws, I'm gonna fight you in court for years to try to stop you from putting things in place that prevent murder laws. I don't wanna murder anyone, I have no intention of murdering anyone, but there shouldn't be laws in place outlawing murder. If that's what it was, do you really think Verizon didn't wanna murder people? Now, obviously, in reality, Verizon doesn't wanna kill you or me, but they are very happy that net neutrality is dead, and we're gonna see how long it is before they do something that's anti-net neutrality or maybe would have been illegal before when net neutrality was a thing. And don't worry, I will be right here telling you all about it with the vein in my forehead and my heart doing this. So RIP net neutrality, you died at the ripe age of 2 years old. One love, homie. And I have a new non-tech news. I have a new YouTube channel launching with Nick Gregorio called Action Figures. It's youtube.com/actionfigures. It should be launching today, and some content should be coming out real soon, all about comic books and movies and fandom and all that stuff. So subscribe, and the anger you see right here, I will be putting towards terrible comic books. So I'll see you guys there. That's a wrap. Net neutrality died at 2 years old.
Well, that sucks. Anyways, on a lighter, more positive note, Microsoft has once again proven that they are finally a serious hardware company with this week's unveiling of the Surface laptop. Bill Belichick is punching himself in the face. Damn it! Anyways, it's a new member of the Surface touchscreen computer family that's an actual all-in-one laptop as opposed to previous Surface tablets that were essentially just Windows tablet PCs with a keyboard that connected magnetically.
No, this one goes like this.
It doesn't go like this.
The Surface laptop definitely is not for everyone, though. First off, pricing starts at $1,000. And while that price gets you a really elegant, well-designed laptop that rivals the craftsmanship of Apple at its peak and performance and battery life that Microsoft claims is better than the i7 MacBook Pro, you can obviously do better price-wise by shopping around.
Yeah, plus the Surface laptop is specifically targeted at students who mostly just need a dependable, portable computer to do work on. It's the flagship device for the upcoming Windows 10s, which is basically a lightweight version of Windows that sacrifices control and customization for speed. So in that sense, it's sort of targeting a market niche somewhere in between the MacBook Air and the Chromebook Pixel. So not the biggest news, but it's been really cool seeing Microsoft finally get into the hardware game with the Surface line over the last couple of years. You gotta give them credit for that.
It's a really pretty laptop. I want to touch it. It's like the inside surface is like, it's like fabric. I don't know. It looks real pretty. Just want to touch it. Touch the surface of the Surface.
Yeah.
Anyway, one final bit of news for this week. Reddit has announced that they'll be ditching CSS customization in their subreddits in favor of an integrated set of customization tools. CSS, for those unaware, is Cascading Style Sheets, a web design language that allows web developers to quickly customize the look of entire web pages by basically creating a central set of rules instead of editing individual elements. For example, I want all my links to be purple, and I want them all to use Comic Sans for font. And done.
You maniac.
And publish, HostGator.com.
For years, Reddit has allowed moderators of its subreddits to overhaul the look of these subreddits using CSS, giving each subreddit its own unique color palette and style built around the same basic format. Done right, this can make a subreddit not just feel like a forum on a website, but its own unique space on the internet. So obviously, as with any Reddit admin announcement, this news has met with plenty of hysteria from people worried that whatever customization tools Reddit replaces CSS with, they'll be terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, you want a custom banner on top? That's 99 cents.
Damn you, Spez.
Yeah.
Damn you, Steve Huffman. Anyway, the only reason we're even...
Condé Nast.
No, I think They're
separate?
private now, yeah. They were owned briefly, and then they were like, oh, wait, you can't make money on this fucking site.
Yeah.
But anyways, the only reason I'm even bringing the story up is to point out some of the most intentionally hideous examples of subreddit CSS in existence. There's plenty of examples of ironic comic sans and unreadable color palettes out there, but r/Ledoute Generation, a subreddit devoted to Mr. Skeletal memes, really uses CSS brilliantly by making nearly every element on screen off-angle, triggering a sense of confusion and, dare I say, fear.
There was, what was it, a month or two ago that Wall Street Bets made it so the whole subreddit rocked like a yacht? You're just like, I can't fucking read or click anything.
Forgot about
This is
that.
terrible.
CSS is incredible. It's a great language. You can really abuse it.
Rest in peace, CSS.
But yeah, with Ledoute Generation, if you have Reddit Enhancement Suite installed on your browser, you can just keep on scrolling through the posts until the links just literally drift off screen where you can't click them.
And then there's r/Ur, a subreddit devoted to, God, who could really say? But once you're hooked, you're hooked. Anyways, r/Ur is designed in a way that's nearly impossible to navigate, just an unending sewer of overlapping Comic Sans text and infuriating formatting. It's a marvel to behold. If and when Reddit finally pulls the plug on CSS, will subreddits like this be able to maintain the character they've nurtured for so long? I guess, you know what? Just go out there and enjoy them while you can.
Yeah, taking away my free speech. My free speech rights to make a hideous subreddit.
Go to HostGator and make a CSSplayground.com.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
Anyway, that's it for this week's Tech News Day. Thank you again to this week's sponsoring advertiser, HostGator, for advertising on this show. Whether you're a small business or a first-time blogger, HostGator has all the tools you need to build and host your website all in one place. Their drag-and-drop website builder makes it easy to create a great-looking website fast, and HostGator's 24/7 support is always available to assist you via live chat or email anytime you have a question. Where should they go?
Head to HostGator.com/TechTuesday to sign up and get yourself 60% off. But hurry, this is a limited time promotion. Discount applies to the first term only.
So yesterday we showed off some heroes who had, despite our clickbait shirt clearly being a joke, they'd gone and bought them and
You know what? Now that I see it on an actual human, looks very stylish. I think you should all buy them.
Yeah, it's probably, you're gonna have to answer a lot of people's questions. But yeah, a few more people got offended that we showed that guy yesterday in his clickbait shirt, and they were like, hey, I bought mine on the first day. And I'm like, bravery. So
there you go. Here you
shout
go.
out
There's
to
some
more
pictures.
heroes.
Then check out our other episodes. We have an update on that whole Fire Festival fiasco. There's $100 million in the line. Are you a bad enough dude to claim that money? And then
Or do you want to let it ride?
Or you want to let it ride? Actually, they've been now, and a quick update to that, they've been banned from doing business in the Bahamas, so I don't think
You
that
gotta
was a good
really
option.
fuck up to get banned from Bahamas.
Yeah, anyways, we also have a new podcast where we answer your burning questions about other things that you want to know about, and it you know what? Could be anything. There you go.
Check it out.
Bye.